Hey, anyone order a pizza from Pizza Planet? It's in the van, man. I can go get it if you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. I'm TheXploder, and no, I don't work for Pizza Planet. Although that would be pretty cool, actually. I wonder if you would get free pizza as part of a deal. Interesting. Today we're talking location, location, location. Sometimes you want to party on the beach. Sometimes you want to party on a ship. Sometimes you just want to win games with a big-ass location that does big-ass things. We love our location, boys, especially me. But when it comes up to set 9, we're going to lose a lot of them. Let me show you, and let's talk locations. So welcome back to Dreamborn, where over here I have sorted out every single location card that we can get in the game. This is not including Enchanted, and as you can see, there are 54 cards that we can get our hands on currently in the game for locations in all the different colors. Now, this is bearing in mind, this is every set from set 1 all the way through to set 8, Reign of Jafar. Not all of these sets had locations, but it's nice for we at least have a decent number, right? When we move into Fabled, we will obviously lose set 1 to 4, which will then mean we go from having 54 cards to 24 cards. Yikes! We lose 30 locations within the space of one set rotation. And that can be pretty darn scary. Obviously, this is all bearing in mind that we could have more locations come in with Fabled, which I definitely hope so. But even with that in mind, that's 24 locations post-set rotation. How many of these, in my opinion, are decent? Well, I've made the list for you above me. There's about 10. 10 off the top of my head, at least. Now, this goes without saying, but I want to make sure I iterate this for you guys watching. The 10 that I have on the list above me right now are from my own personal opinions and from my own personal time playing the game and playing with these locations in general. I genuinely believe that the locations above me are the best locations within their reasons in the game, but without just talking about them being the best, let's talk about why they're the best and why it's a little bit scary that these are the only good locations or seemingly good locations post-set rotation. Starting off, we have Sugar Rush Speedway, not just the starting line but the finishing line. Let's talk about the starting line first. It's a 1-cost uninkable 0-5, which means it's 0 to travel to with 5 willpower behind it. And once per turn, you may exert a chosen character here, deal them 1 damage to move them to another location for free. It's quite quirky. You can actually splash this location into a bunch of decks that may not even necessarily use location tech, but at least gives you damage onto your characters. Combining Sugar Rush Speedway with another location that I have on this list is a very juicy combination, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But Speedway starting line wouldn't be quite the option if we didn't have Sugar Rush Speedway finishing line. Of course, this is the double location combo piece that I have fallen in love with. So Sugar Rush Speedway finishing line is a 2-cost uninkable 6 to travel to 7 willpower location with Bring It Home, Kid! When you move a character here from a location, you may banish this location to gain free lore and draw 3 cards. There is a quirky aggro deck that I've made that uses this Sugar Rush Speedway combination, and I love it to pieces. It's quirky, it's a little bit all over the place, but it definitely has more staying power now thanks to some more of the racer-specific cards that are coming out for Reign of Jafar. But although the combination of these locations are good, there are still some negatives behind them. Number 1, without the starting line, Sugar Rush Speedway finishing line is pretty much dead in your hand or dead on the board, because even if you paid 6 to go into it, you need to pay 6 when a character is in one location traveling to another. If they're not in a location and you pay 6 to move them into here, it's a huge waste because you don't even get the free lore and draw 3. So you need to bear that in mind. It's a big caveat. And obviously the big trick with starting line and finishing line together, they are uninkable, meaning that if you ran both of them at 4 each, that is 8 cards and 8 uninkable cards at that in your deck already, which can already be the maximum amount of uninkables you would want to run in a deck. So cumbersome. A location card that I've grown to really enjoy that I actually recommend that you guys try out, specifically if you want something a little bit quirky in Amber Steel, for example, is Rapunzel's Tower Secluded Prison, a 2-cost inkball, 1 to travel to, 8 willpower location, with characters get +3 willpower while they are here. Like I said, splash this in an Amber deck, and now all of your characters are big beefy boys, and even the location itself is quite beefy, having 8 willpower. It doesn't give you passive lore, which is another caveat with the starting line and finishing line on their own, but what it gives you in its resourcefulness can be really useful. The best combination I've seen with this is when I went against Russell for my locals, howdy Russell and locals, when we had a Steel Smee move to Rapunzel's Tower, was given 3 willpower, and now that he's been given 3 willpower, not just does that turn Smee into a 3/6, that is a 3/6 that'll take 3 more damage for every time it's turned sideways until it goes bye-bye proper. Which is also scary, bearing in mind that the deck can also run Rapunzel and heal that damage and draw that many cards. It's a crazy combination and I really enjoy it, so this is a sleeper location that I think a lot of people aren't playing. It is a quirky tech, you're probably only going to splash 1 or 2 of these into your deck if you really want to, but I think it's really decent. Now, in my opinion, this may be the one location moving into Reign of Jafar and onward that could start seeing some serious play. And this is Ratigan's Party, a 2-cost inkball, 1 to travel to, 7 willpower location with Misfits Revelry. While you have a damaged character here, this location gets +2 lore. Yes, it doesn't have lore innately, but remember what I said about the starting line from Speedway that allows you to do some quirky tech with other locations? This is the location I'm talking of. Even if you're not running Ruby and Amber and doing the Speedway tech, if you're running a Ruby deck that likes to have damage counters on them, like, oh, I don't know, the Queen of Hearts, for example, now you have a way to take advantage of your damaged characters having damage on them by moving them to a location like Ratigan's Party. Move them over to this place, maybe have a Rourke in play so that if your opponent decides, oh, you're damaged, I'm just going to bop you before you get your 2 lore, they're going to lose 1 lore because they bopped one of your boys anyway. It's quite a quirky tech, I will admit, but you know what? I really enjoy it. It's a bit of a sleeper hit, bit of a combo piece more so. Yes, it doesn't have lore innately, but if you know you're going to run a deck that either likes to have damage on it or will more than likely have an odd little bit of damage here or there, this could be a really cool location that'll have to make your opponent think. If they get rid of this, you don't get 2 passive lore, but you could potentially still have a character on board ready to do some more shenanigans next turn. I like a bit of mind game playing. Next up is a location that on paper I like, but I will admit is a little bit too slow, but let's get into it first. It is the 2-cost inkball, 1 to travel to, 8 willpower location, Rescue Rangers Submarine for mobile headquarters with planning session. At the start of your turn, if you have a character here, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exert it. Effectively, if you were to play this on curve, you would have your turn 1 character, turn 2 you'll play Rescue Rangers Submarine, turn 3 you'll, by the end of your turn or beginning of your turn, move your 1-drop character into the submarine so that by turn 4 you can start ramping from the top of your deck. It's a slower Fishbone Quill, because at least with Fishbone Quill you can play it on turn 3, immediately exert it and immediately get a card in your hand into your inkwell face up, ready to go. While with this, it's face down and exerted, so yes, it gives you ramp, but it's ramp where you can't even use the ink straight away, you have to wait until the following turn to benefit from it, which is a bit of a red flag. But if we are running out of ramping options when it comes to next set, it's something. I still don't think this is the best location out there. I think in Sapphire this is definitely one of the better locations, but even then, it's a hard sell when it is that slow. The good thing going into it is that willpower. 8 willpower on a 2-drop location, solid. Now, there was a reason why Diggy Diggy Hole became such a big deal, and that is because of Seven Dwarfs Mine, possibly one of the best steel locations in the game right now, and will still be a very good steel location moving into the next block post-set rotation. Let's go into it. A 2-cost inkable, 2 to travel to, 6 willpower location that gives you 1 lore passively at the start of your turn. The first location out of all of these I've covered so far that does it, which makes it already good. And on top of that, mountain defense. During your turn, the first time you move a character here, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character. If the moved character is a knight, you deal 2 damage instead. The big thing I don't like about this location: we have a severe lacking number of knights. And I know we have the Snow White and the Seven Dwarf Knights. We have Snow White herself, I believe, counts as a knight in that lineup as well. There is also the Shift Knight Cinderella, and I think a couple of other knights here or there. But we are strictly lacking in knight-specific cards. So 9 out of 10 times, you aren't going to deal 2 damage, you're only going to deal 1. 1 damage is still perfectly fine, and you are paying 2 ink in order to move a character into here to do it. But if you are fighting a pesky enemy where they have 1 health left over, or you're playing against aggro and you need to be able to bop an aggro guy and then move a guy into this location to bop another one and get them out of the way, it can be very useful. There is a reason why Seven Dwarfs Mine is played. It has a lower level of willpower in the lineup of the locations we're going to be seeing here, only having 6, which means it's not going to take a lot to necessarily get rid of it, but it is an active threat at all times because it does give you 1 lore at the start of your turn, making this a very pesky location that will have to make your opponent think. Next up, we're talking amethyst locations, and quite frankly, this is one of the best, if not the single best amethyst location going in to set 9 and the set rotation, the library, a gift for Belle. A 3-cost inkable, 1 to travel to, 8 willpower location that gives you 1 lore at the start of your turn, and with the effect Lost in a Book. Whenever a character is banished while here, you may draw a card. Everyone's going to be bopping everyone at some point, or you will lose a character at some point if they're questing for 1, 2, 3 or more lore, right? The library helps you with your card consistency, and even if all you do is move a character into this location for 1, which is very cheap, bop them and get a card draw out of it, you've paid 1 ink for a guaranteed 1 card. And if you run this with specific cards where if they're challenged, they go back into your hand, that's another plus. Yes, you have to replay the character afterwards. Whether it does or doesn't have rush is depending on the character that you play and the board you have, but it still makes this location very useful. On top of that, the location has a high willpower cost, being at 8, meaning it can take a lot of damage before it goes down, and it also gives you 1 passive lore at the start of your turn, which is fantastic. Yes, this does become the best amethyst location post-rotation, because sadly, the Queen's Castle will be gone. And bearing in mind, the Queen's Castle gives you double the lore, has 1 less willpower at the same cost, you travel to it for the exact same cost as well, but gives you cards pending on the characters that are at the Queen's Castle at the start of your turn, making it a fantastic location for right now when I'm recording this video, so please keep using it. After rotation, by all means, make sure you have your 4 copies of library ready to go. Now here's another location that I really enjoy that has some control effect behind it that I really like, but you need to bear in mind can be very, very dangerous at the same time and probably not last on your board very long. It's Tropical Rainforest for Jaguar Lair, a 3-cost inkable, 1 to travel to, 6 willpower location that gives you 1 lore at the start of your turn, and Snack Time. Opposing damage characters gain Reckless. Now, you may be looking at this and think, why do I want to give damage characters Reckless when they can just bop this location? And that's true. They can just bop this location as soon as they have Reckless and get rid of it. Sad times, which is for one huge problem with a location with this effect. If it had an effect where opposing damage characters gain Reckless, but if you have at least 1 character exerted at this location, the location itself gains Evasive, that would be kind of crazy. But yet again, that'll probably up the cost to make it uninkable and make it broken as all hell, which, yeah, I can see that happening very, very easily. Now, it's a control piece because you can effectively make damaged characters gain reckless, therefore meaning they can't quest, they have to challenge into something, and if they can't or don't want to challenge into something, the only other way out of it is to either bounce them back or to sing. And not every deck is capable of reliably singing, so this can help. It's definitely not the best location, but guess what? This may end up being your best choice of emerald locations, because the Cove, which is the 1-drop emerald location that I personally love and a lot of other people love, will be going. There will be no Cove, so it's like, wow. What else do I put in here? Personally, this is one of my favorite new locations from the game, fresh from set 6. It is Galactic Council Chamber, the Courtroom, a 3-cost inkable, 1 to travel to, 7 willpower location that gives you 1 at the start of your turn. And while you have an alien or robot character here, this location can't be challenged. There's a brand new Stitch that's coming into Reign of Jafar that has the effect where if he bops, and I believe he just has to challenge into a character. It's not challenge and banish. I could be wrong. I might even bring the card on screen so we can have a look whilst we do this. But effectively has that ability, and whenever you do that, you get to draw a card and gain 1 lore as a result. He's an alien, so if you were to do that while he's at Galactic Council Chamber, now he can deal damage, you get your card draw, you get your lore, but the best part is that Stitch is now fully protected by the Galactic Council Chamber, and your opponent's going to have to go through a 7 willpower wall just to get rid of that one pesky alien boy. This is not including other cards like Gantu that can take advantage of this, or the different versions, may I say, and my personal favourite, John Silver. The John Silver specifically that gains +1 lore and +1 resist when he is at a, well, not when he's at a location, when there are just locations out on the board. Problem with that, John Silver will also be lost as of the set rotation, which is another sad day for location-based cards. I mean, for every positive we have with locations, there are like 10 negatives. Oh no. And the last location that I rate quite highly post-set rotation is Treasure Mountain, Azurite Sea Island, the rare location from set 6. It is a 5-cost uninkable 2 to travel to 9 willpower location that gives you 2 lore at the start of your turn, and at the start of your turn you deal damage to chosen character or location equal to the number of characters here. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's uninkable, but look at the benefits that you are getting. For as low as 2 ink, which is a little bit pricey for a location, but there are ways to lower the costs. Some characters may be able to travel for free. There are also some other cards that can allow you to travel here for free as well. Even if you only have 1 character in here, that has a guaranteed 1 damage to a character or a location, which is big because now this is a location that can tackle other locations without you having to use Along Came Zeus, which can definitely help out. And I mean, at the start of your turn, you get 2 lore, which is big, and it's a 9 willpower god of a location as well. You have to bop this for 9 to get it off the board. And it could be a very scary threat if you're aggroing or you're near the end of the game. You slap this bad boy down and you go, okay, you need to wipe my board, and even if you don't wipe my board, guess what? Treasure Mountain wins me the game. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying when it comes to locations, this could be a sleeper hit post-rotation. I quite like it as a one-of if you're running the John Silver location tech, because it can come out of nowhere and surprise people. But even then, it does have some caveats. I mean, more uninkable spaces at 5 cost range, which can be pretty steep. It does cost 2 to at least move 1 character here, so you do want to be playing this with cost reduction bits to either get here for free or to just get here for 1, which would be a heck of a lot easier. But with all that in mind, you can make this work. I have, so I believe in you. And I think with all that being said, it's just the problem I have with locations in general. Even with these 10 locations after set rotation, the locations themselves are just borderline not great. And on my hand, I can pretty much say the best locations in the game. As of right now, with Reign of Jafar, the best locations in the game will probably be as follows. First things first, when it comes to the best locations right now, Hidden Cove. 1 drop, 1/6 location, gain 1 attack, gain 1 willpower while you're here. It doesn't matter if it doesn't give you lore, it makes any of your boys bigger and thicker, which could stop a lot of removal options. It's scary, and at 6 willpower on turn 1, not a lot of things can bop this out of the way very early on. Of course, Library, we talked about this earlier, there's a reason why Library still gets played in top level decks to this day. It's a fantastic location. Galactic Council Chamber, even though it has the requirement for alien or robot, it's still a relatively great on-curve location that is guaranteed to give you 1 lore at the start of your turn. Even if you play this without aliens or robots, put this out on the board when you're basically on the verge of winning the game, and it challenges your opponent to not just wipe your board of characters, but also wipe it off locations. And with this having 7 willpower, it's not going to be that easy. Of course, we popped this up a little bit earlier on. Queen's Castle Mirror Chamber is just incredible. 4 cost Inkable 1/7 for 2 lore, and at the start of your turn, for each character you have here, you can just draw a card, and this triggers before your draw step itself. So if you have 2 characters here, you draw 2 cards off of a location, and then you're 1 for turn, meaning at the start of your turn, you just drew 3 cards. Mad. Absolutely mad. It's a busted location. Half of me's happy that this is going, but another part of me has really loved playing with this location, and it's going to be sad to see it go. And the last one is McDuck Manor. It's just a very simple, very strong vanilla location which is just cost 4. And on the cost of 4, it's a 9 willpower location that just gives you 2 lore at the start of your turn. There's a reason why you put this in some capacity in pretty much every single one of your Sapphire decks. Even if you only put 1 into your Sapphire deck, if you're about to win the game and you're just 2 lore short and you have a heavy board out, slap out a McDuck Manor, and now all of a sudden your opponent has to get rid of your entire board and a 9 willpower location. Youch. And in case you guys can't realize, these are probably the best locations in the game right now. There are only 5 of them, and as you can probably tell, there are 2 colors that are obviously missing from this list, them being Amber and Ruby. Now personally, if you were to put a gun to my head, I think that Ruby's best location outside of the starting line will probably be something along the lines of maybe Agrabah, because it does give you 2 lore, but it's a little bit weaker on the willpower side in comparison to something like McDuck Manor. And if we were talking on the Amber side, again, gun to my head, I'd probably say Rapunzel's Tower is up there as one of the best, if not the best current Amber location. And of course, this goes without saying, any 1-drop location that gives you 1 lore is absolutely valid. If you are working on an aggro-based deck, but you're a little bit iffy on putting out characters, putting in 1-drop locations that just give you 1 passive lore is absolutely fine. I rate doing that tactic again and again and again. I even rate locations like Nottingham, which is the 2-cost steel location, because yes, it's just a vanilla location, but with 7 willpower on turn 2, that's pretty nice. But even with all of that in place, even with all of this tech in place, locations are just a little bit clunky, a little bit hard to micromanage into your deck because they don't have the best abilities in the world. Unlike I've shown you here, 5 of the best locations in the game, only some of them will be played as 4-ofs in their respective decks, and if anything you can run them anywhere between a 1-drop to a 4-drop, and even then, they're not even necessary in the decks that they are in. They are more splash techy, they're more handy techy, and now it just seems as if maybe outside of McDuck Manor, a lot of these are being rotated out. It makes me sad. But I think in the end, I'm mostly saddened because we don't have a lot of viable locations in other colours, as well as viable locations in the colours that, like I've pointed out, are already living it well with the locations we have. And even then, that's 58 locations, 5 of them are good. Shouldn't that be a glaring issue with that mechanic in general? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but in the end of the day, I love locations. I love the quirkiness of locations. I love what locations and location-based characters can do to influence the game state of the board. I just want them to be better. And if anything, I want you guys to feel my want for these locations and locations in better to be better. Because I just love the tech. I just wanna see him thrive. Once. Just give me one. But what do you think about locations? Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? Or do you think they make you pretty sad? Let me know your thoughts over in the comments, and while you're down there, check out my description for all of my social links so we can chat a lot more about it in the future. On top of that, then while you're down there, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it with your buddies, and help out this channel as I'm on a mission to become better than I was yesterday, I guess. I mean, I do have a dream to actually commentate at a DLC in the future. I'd love to be able to do that, so hey, Ravensburger people, anyone that does commentary on DLCs, I'm interested! Try me out, please! But that is it for now, and I'll be seeing you guys on yet another Lorcana video in the future. Until then, stay safe, stay awesome, but most importantly, stay explosive. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. You know what, I really love this Pizza Planet hoodie, but it makes me really crave pizza, and last time I checked, I don't have a pizza. Well, looks like I'm ordering takeout. Yeah!